Victoria weather meteorologist Ryan Henning. I am here with a forecast for Elizabethtown, Kentucky. For those that don't know where it is, I'm right up close to the map so we can point it out to you. So we've got Louisville right here, and just to the southwest is Fort Knox, and a little bit further south is Elizabethtown. So when we start looking at our numbers, we're actually even going to be using the Fort Knox numbers because that is the closest official reporting station to Elizabethtown, the home of the Federal Reserve in northern Kentucky on the banks of the Ohio River. Of course, the big news out of the Ohio Valley lately is kind of an extension of what's been going on along the Gulf Coast, where Louisiana's seen historic flooding over the last several days. It's been a very damp, very wet, and at times dangerous past several days along the Ohio Valley. But the good news is things are beginning to break apart. There was a persistent moist fetch from the heavy rain along the Gulf Coast that was passing through the Ohio Valley up towards the eastern Great Lakes, and that is beginning to dissipate as high pressure begins to break down along the East Coast. There's still a few showers ongoing over the Elizabethtown area, but the good news is things are not as organized and not as persistent as they have been over the last several days. So let's take a look at what we've got currently ongoing and what we can expect going forward. So right now it's actually the wee hours of Wednesday morning in Elizabeth. So let's take a look at the radar here. Again, there is Elizabethtown, and Fort Knox is going to be up over here, kind of by where LVX is, the radar. And there's not a lot of real heavy rain ongoing right now, but and frankly, there aren't any sites in southern Indiana that are reporting rain, and there isn't anything nearby Louisville or Elizabethtown. There are a few light showers up in Cincinnati, but that's about it for right now. So that's really great news that we don't have the heavy organized precip right now. So I can verify that for you. There's a few sites here in western Kentucky that are reporting some moderate rain, but you can see southern Indiana. The dots are what signifies that a site is reporting light rain. So there's a few spots around Cincinnati, but really nothing around Louisville or over southern Indiana that are cause for concern. Temperature right now is 74 degrees. It's a little bit warmer up in the city. It's even mostly cloudy skies. So there's even some stars and moonlight shining through in the area, which is great news because it's going to make things a little bit more comfortable. There's probably going to be some fog overnight into tomorrow morning, but there's also going to be the potential to see a little bit of sun tomorrow. So unfortunately, the GFS seems not to be loading today, so we're just going to be looking at the NAM, but it's not really doing anything out of the ordinary. I have been able to pull in temperature forecast guidance from the GFS, and it's not too different from what the NAM is telling me. So I think we're going to be okay if we just look at this particular model. And I want you to focus on kind of the organization of what's been going on. So we have our area low pressure here up in New England, and then we've had this persistent area of shower activity over East Texas, the Western Gulf. And they've been connected, which has been the real root of the issues. But the big change that's going to be going forward, you can see all of the shower and thunderstorm activity that's cropping up over the southeast. This is going to be overnight tomorrow as this boundary begins to finally break down, thanks in large part to thunderstorm development over the southeastern U.S. And this is basically turning into a typical summertime pattern. And that's fantastic news because a lack of organization means a lack of persistent showers and storms over the Ohio River, and it's going to really alleviate a lot of the flood threat. I mean, with the isolated showers and storms that I'm expecting across the area, there's still going to be flash flooding in some spots, and the high rivers and creeks and whatnot they're going to take a little bit to come down, but they're not going to keep rising like they've been, which is the first part of the battle, I suppose. Temperatures are going to be around 80 degrees for a high, thanks to all the moisture in the atmosphere. That is going to be leading to partly to mostly cloudy skies, which means it's not going to warm up too significantly over the next couple of days, which is a victory in its own right too, because it's been fairly warm across the region as well. But in general, that's the big thing. We're not going to see that one stripe of heavy rain extending all the way from Buffalo, New York to Houston, Texas, right through Louisville and Elizabethtown, which is where we're really concerned about tonight. So I am going to leave showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for the next 2 days, but it's with the caveat that it's actually going to be much better, and conditions are well on their way towards improvement in northern Kentucky. So with that, I'm going to sign off for the night and wish you a good evening, and stay dry in Elizabethtown.